Your iPhone signal bars have been lying to you. Not sometimes. Basically, every day you've owned the phone. Those little dots at the top of the screen are not a real measurement. They're a simplified cartoon. Your carrier and your phone agreed to show you, so you wouldn't have to think. 2 bars in the bedroom and 4 bars in the kitchen can mean almost the same thing. All completely different things, and you'd never know from the icon alone. Today, I'm going to show you the hidden field test mode already sitting inside your iPhone, the same engineering screen techs use, so you can read your real signal as a number, map the dead zones in your house in about 10 minutes, and stop throwing money at the wrong fix. A decent home signal booster runs $200 to $500 before you mount anything. Maybe I need a new phone. Impulse is worse. This menu costs nothing. I've used it every time someone swears the carrier just hates this address. Half the time the address is fine. The phone was sleeping in the worst corner of the building. And before we close, I'll show you the free move that fixes more indoor call drops than most people expect. No hardware, no App Store junk. First, the ugly truth about bars. 4 bars means strong signal. Not reliably. Bars are a carrier interpretation, rounded, smoothed, a bit polite. 2 phones on the same desk can disagree about how many to draw. That's why one person streams fine while the other keeps dropping calls. If calls drop, I need a booster. Maybe. Or maybe your phone spends all night in a concrete corner facing away from the tower. Boosters are real tools. They're also a classic panic purchase when nobody measured anything first. This is some illegal hack. No, field test mode is a built-in diagnostic screen. You're not jailbreaking. You're not installing a shady profile. You're dialing a code the phone app already understands. Apple doesn't put it in the settings with friendly labels because most people don't need radio acronyms before breakfast. That doesn't mean you're not allowed to look. If I touch anything, I'll brick my phone. If you go in, read numbers, and leave, you're fine. The danger is random tapping through band locks you don't understand. We're not doing that. View first, change nothing, exit clean. Here's what you're actually looking at in human language. Your phone is constantly talking to a cell site. The useful strength number for modern L, T, E, and 5G is usually RSRP, measured in decibel milliwatts. It's a negative number. Closer to 0 is stronger. More negative is weaker. So minus 85 is in much better shape than minus 115. Once you see it that way, bars start to feel like a kid's weather report, rough ranges you can actually use. Around minus 80 decibel milliwatts and better, solid. Roughly minus 90 to minus 100, usable, but you may notice strain indoors. Around minus 100 to minus 110, weak. Drops get common. Worse than about minus 110, you're in the why is this room cursed zone. Those aren't magic laws for every carrier, but they're the practical ladder when you're done guessing from icons. If you're still here, you're probably the person who actually tests things instead of rage ordering hardware at midnight. Subscribe if you want more of these. It's free and it helps the channel. And if you want the deeper members-only breakdowns, that's what channel membership is for. All right, let's open the menu. Do this in order. Turn Wi-Fi off. If Wi-Fi is on, your phone will happily do useful things over the router, and you'll misread what cellular is actually doing. Open the phone app, the keypad, like you're about to call someone. Dial this exact code. Star 300 1 pound 12345 pound, star written out. That's 3001 hash 12345 hash. Hit the call button. You're not calling a person. The dialer should hand you straight into field test mode. Give it a couple seconds if the first snapshot is slow. What you see depends a bit on iOS version. Apple has rearranged this dashboard more than once. On current layouts, hunt for serving cell measurements, often under an L, T, E, or 5G section. The labels you're after look like RSRP or RSRP 0/RSRP1. Those are your real strength readouts. You may also see RSRQ or SINR. Those matter to radio nerds. For today, RSRP is the headline. If the menus feel like a cockpit, don't spiral. You only need one honest number and a pair of legs. Start where you normally take calls. Stand still. Note the RSRP. That's your baseline. No more. It feels like 2 bars. You have a number. Then walk the house. Pause in the bedroom, the kitchen, the couch against the exterior wall, the basement stair, the window facing the street. Watch the number climb or crash. You'll usually find a good wall and a bad corner in the same small apartment. Concrete, metal, low E-glass, elevators. Your phone isn't haunted. Physics is just rude indoors. Once you've got that map, move the problem before you buy anything. Charge overnight where the number is stronger. Take work calls from the stronger room. A shocking number of "my carrier is trash" complaints are, "my desk is in a dead pocket and I never measured it." Screenshot the screen if you want. Compare afternoon versus evening if your area congests after work. Tiny site survey, device you already own. Here's the free fix that sits next to field test and solves indoor call drops for a lot of households. Wi-Fi calling. If home Wi-Fi is solid and cellular is junk in the back rooms, Wi-Fi calling lets calls and texts ride the internet instead of begging a weak cell signal to behave. On iPhone, it's settings arrow, cellular arrow, Wi-Fi calling, and your carrier has to support it. Most major ones do. Field test tells you whether the radio path is the villain. Wi-Fi calling is how you stop caring about that villain while you're home. Android cousin, 20 seconds. Because mixed households exist, you usually don't get the same dialer theater. It's often settings arrow about phone, arrow status, arrow sim status, where signal shows as a decibel milliwatt number. Paths vary by brand. Same idea. Read the number, walk the house, stop trusting bar art. When is a booster actually justified? After you measure. If every room sits in the toilet tier, outdoors by a window still looks weak, and Wi-Fi calling isn't enough for how you live, then you're in booster territory, and now you have before numbers, so you're not buying blind. If one room is terrible and the rest are fine, start with placement. Spending $300 to fix a phone that sleeps in a metal-rich closet is a very modern way to light money on fire. A few guardrails. Don't flip band locks or anything that sounds like you're redesigning the modem. Read, walk, exit. If field test looks different after an iOS update, same mission. Find RSRP. Labels move. The physics doesn't. Field test won't fix a dead SIM or an unpaid bill. It fixes ignorance about strength. And if you're in a car, don't drive around staring at engineering menus. Park, measure, then move. Cost math, quick. Home boosters. People actually consider often land around $200 to $500. A replacement phone for better reception can be hundreds more and still hate the same corner because the corner didn't change. Field test is $0. Wi-Fi calling is $0. 10 minutes walking your floor plan is $0. Even if you eventually buy hardware, measuring first means you buy it once for a real reason. I've watched people argue with a carrier rep using vibes. Vibes lose. A screenshot with RSRP and a short list, kitchen minus 92, bedroom minus 108, balcony minus 79, turns the conversation into something an adult can act on. You don't need to become a radio engineer. You need one code, one number, and the willingness to walk your place once with the cartoon bars turned off in your head. The menu was always there. The bars were always a simplification. The fix is often free once you can see what the phone already knows. Go dial it. Walk the rooms. Note the lowest number and the highest. You'll know in one lap whether tonight's problem is buy equipment or stop taking calls in the worst corner of the house. Thanks for watching. If this saved you a booster you didn't need, send it to the friend who keeps dropping calls from the couch. See you in the next one.